everyone and welcome to my end of summer book haul. So in July I managed to accidentally skip filming a book haul, so what I've done is sort of combined last month's and this month's as a sort of end of summer book haul kind of thing. So let's just get into it because there's a lot to get through. So the first thing I've got to show you is Miles Morales Shockwaves by Jason Reynolds. Now this is a Miles Morales comic. This is aimed at a slightly younger audience, but quite frankly I don't really care. I wanted more Miles on my shelves because I don't really have that much and I just wanted more Miles essentially, and I've heard so many good things about Jason Reynolds, so I thought I'd give it a go. At the same time I managed to get Built on Hope, which is an Unstoppable Wasp novel by Sam Maggs. Now this is an actual novel, but I'm really excited to read it. I've never actually read like a Marvel novel, so I'm really excited to read this. This is all about Nadia Van Dyne, who is the daughter of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, who are the original Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, so she's sort of like Hope from the movies, but she's a completely different character. They created Hope specifically for the movies. Nadia is actually their daughter in the comics. Now, she is brand new to all of this superheroing, and this is sort of like following her being brand new to the superhero world essentially. I've heard nothing but good things about this and I cannot wait. And when I found both of these in Astor for £7 together, I had to go for it, and I'm just very excited to have these because 1, Marvel stuff, 2, bargain. The only other physical graphic novel I've got is Shang-Chi Brothers and Sisters. This is obviously a Shang-Chi comic, which I'm very excited to read. The artwork looks really pretty in here. Can I show you some proper ones like that? And I've heard nothing but good things about this one. I'm pretty sure that this is sort of like a new starting point for Shang-Chi, so if you haven't read anything previously to Shang-Chi, you can read this one and sort of get to know him that bit better before you go see the movie, which I am planning on doing. I cannot wait. I have heard so many good things again about the Shang-Chi movie. I cannot wait to fall in love with him as well, like I do with all the Marvel characters, and I cannot wait to read this one. I then got Fear Street, the original trilogy, so that is The New Girl, The Surprise Party and The Overnight Missing, and this is basically Fear Street the beginning, which is the beginning of the Fear Street stuff obviously, and this is by R.L. Stine. Now I'm not usually here for like horror stuff, but I have found out that this year I have read a couple of horror things and really enjoyed it, but I have also watched the Fear Street movies on Netflix and absolutely adored them. Like, I'm not usually here for slasher movies and things like this, but this was absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed the movies and I really wanted to buy the book. Now this one was on Waterstones, so I obviously got it. My only thing is that I then looked it up when I got home, and this series is 58 books long. There's like 12 spin-offs and each one of those is a series, so I'm a bit like, oh, I've got myself into something big here. So slightly worried about that. But either way, I am still very excited to read this one and just see where the original Fear Street comes from, essentially. And I'm just really excited and I cannot wait to read this one, probably for Gothtober, so cannot wait. I then also went into the local charity shop in the village, which was a brand new one, and I managed to pick up 2 books, each one for £1 each. So the first one was Wonderland, which is by Juno Dawson. This is part of her Clean series, I think, but you can read each one individually if you so want to. My best friend is absolutely obsessed with Juno Dawson. She absolutely loves her work, so I decided to give her a go, and this is the one I picked up because this is the one that seems most interesting to me. It's a bit of an Alice in Wonderland retelling, but I think it's more contemporary, but I've been enjoying a couple of contemporaries this year with a bit of a fantasy sci-fi twist, so I'm hoping this one's going to be the same and my best friend doesn't disown me if I don't like this. But either way, can't go wrong for £1. And then the other book I got was Midnight for Charlie Bone. This is by Jenny Nimmo, I think that's how you pronounce it, and this is a middle grade fantasy series. This is all I really know. I've had a couple of people raving about this on BookTube, so while I found it and it was £1, I decided to pick it up and I'm very excited to read it. The next thing I got was a pre-order, and that is The Infinity Courts by Kemi Bowman. Now first of all, can we appreciate the cover and then the Under the Dust jacket art, because it's very pretty. But this one I pre-ordered a while ago because Emma from Emma Novella, who I'll leave a link to down below, was absolutely raving about this author and this book specifically. This one is about a girl who is murdered and ends up in the place where human consciousness goes when we die, essentially. That's all I really know, that's all I really wanted to know, and I'm just very excited to read this one. I think it's a sci-fi fantasy twist kind of thing, and I'm just very excited to read it, essentially. The next one I picked up was Verdigris Deep by Frances Hardinge. This one was £3 in WH Smith in the clearance section, so obviously I picked it up because I really want to start this author's work, and there is a read-along happening right now. I'll leave a link down below to the announcement video. It starts in September. And the co-hosts are going to be reading one book of hers every single month for a while, I guess. I don't really know, but I really wanted to try out Frances's work. The only other thing I own is The Lie Tree, and that one isn't until like next year, but this one's like November, I think, so I can't wait to give it a go. I think this one is about kids who steal coins from a well, and then the well witch appears. And that's all I really know. I don't really want to know much else. I kind of want to go into this without really any sort of knowledge, so I cannot wait to read this one when it comes around in November. I then picked up Wendy Darling by A.C. Wise. This one is a retelling of Peter Pan again, but this is focusing on Wendy after she has grown up, and now Peter has returned and is now taking her daughter to Neverland instead of Wendy, and Wendy is now trying to get her daughter back. That's all I really know. I've heard some good things about this one as well, and it's calling to me, so I cannot wait to read it. Obviously I can't wait to read it. This is a book haul. I wouldn't be buying books if I didn't want to read them, but you know what I mean. Very excited to read this one. Hopefully I can get to it before the end of the year, but currently doubting it considering the size of my TBR, but who knows? Maybe I'll get to it. Then the final physical thing I picked up was the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Now obviously this one is for the Broken Earth read-along, which is happening from September onwards. Again, I'll leave the link to the announcement video down below so you can check it out. But I have read, or at least I started reading The 100,000 Kingdoms, really didn't like it, but then I found out afterwards that when you are starting N.K. Jemisin, you're not really supposed to start with that one, you're supposed to go back to that after you've read a few of her other works. So while there was a read-along happening, I decided to pick up the 5th season and give her a second chance. So cannot wait. I know that this one is a sci-fi fantasy twist and everyone absolutely loves it, so cannot wait to check it out. And then we go on to my digital collection. Now I got a couple of audiobooks this month because now that I am reading audiobooks I had a couple of credits left, so I decided to pick up a couple of audiobooks essentially. I also picked up a couple of Kindle books and then a whole load of comics, so I'm going to start with the audiobooks, go into the books and then the Kindle comic stuff. So the first audiobook I picked up was The Sandman, because it turns out, as Neil Gaiman said, it's actually free until like mid-October, so you can buy it now for free and then you can listen to it anytime you want, which is epic in my mind, quite frankly. And this cast is incredible. Like, this audiobook cast is amazing, and I've been putting off listening to this for so long, so I was like, no, I can't do audiobooks, audiobooks aren't for me. And then I realised the audiobooks were actually for me, and let's be honest here, if I'm going to read any audiobook, it's going to be The Sandman, because I really like Neil Gaiman's work. I've really been enjoying The Sandman. The TV show is coming out next year. I definitely need to listen to the audiobook, especially considering season 1 alone stars James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender and Kat Dennings, along with a whole load of other people, and then series 2 includes David Tennant playing Loki. Mind blown, essentially. Cannot wait to listen to that, but I've got to get through the first one first. This one is covering the first 3 graphic novels in the series, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. I've heard so many good things about this. I'm so excited to read it. The other audiobook I got was An Unkindness of Ghostway Rivers Solomon. Now, this one I would have gotten on Kindle, but I did have an audiobook credit left, so I decided to pick this one up instead, and I've got to admit I am very, very excited for this. It's been on my wishlist for a very, very long time. There's an autistic main character in this one. It's a sci-fi, and I'm so excited. I've heard so many good things, about this book and about Rivers Solomon. Cannot wait to read it. Then the Kindle book I managed to get was Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor. Now this one is about a group of kids who are trying to break a curse before the main character dies in 7 days, and I've heard again so many good things about this one. I'm pretty sure it was, I can't remember who it was someone on Instagram, but either way, I'm still very, very excited to read this one. They were raving about it and I'm just very excited to read it. So now I'm going to be going on to the Kindle Comics because there's a lot of them, essentially. So the first stuff I got was all Black Widow, and that was Black Widow, The Things They Say About Her, The Tightly Tangled Web and Last Days, Kiss or Kill and Name of the Rose, and Homecoming. Now, I won't go into these in too much detail now because I have done a full reading vlog for them. I'll leave a link to that up above. But essentially, they were alright. Some of them were better than others, like always, but I reasonably enjoyed them and I am glad I read these Black Widow comics before the Black Widow movie came out. I then also got Journey into Mystery Exiled and Manchester Gods because these were the last parts in a series focusing on Loki. There is one more part, but it ties into a Thor series that I also need to buy, so I did not get that because it wasn't on sale. But I enjoyed Exiles a little bit less than Manchester Gods, but I still really enjoyed both of these. Again, I will have linked up above my Loki reading vlog where I read all of my Loki comics, so check that out if you are interested in finding out more about these comics. But Manchester Gods essentially did remind me of American Gods in a lot of ways, and it was just generally a good time, so check that out if you are interested. I then also got Shattered Heroes. Now this one is a tie-in to Fear Itself, which also ties into Journey into Mystery, and I read Fear Itself while I was reading all of Journey into Mystery and everything else, and I now cannot wait to read Shattered Heroes because this one is focusing on sort of like the aftermath of it all and how all of the heroes are dealing with what happened, essentially. And I'm very excited to read this one. I really, really enjoyed Fear Itself. It wasn't my absolute all-time favourite event of all time, but I still really enjoyed it, so I'm really excited to just see a little bit more from that series, essentially. I then got Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman because I really have been loving Jonathan Hickman's work recently, and I love the Fantastic Four, and this one comes really, really highly recommended, so I picked it up. I cannot wait to read this one. I love the Fantastic Four and I'm just very excited to read more from the Fantastic Four, essentially. And then because I got that series from Jonathan Hickman, I also got FF Volume 1 by Jonathan Hickman, which ties into that Fantastic Four series, because quite frankly you can't have one without the other, so I picked it up as well while I was at it. I then got several more What If comics because they went on sale. That is What If Mirror Mirror, Event Horizon Infinity, With Great Power, and Why Not. Now I've only read Mirror Mirror so far, but quite enjoyed it. You'll find out more about that in my wrap up, but I haven't read any of the others yet. But I am doing a completely dedicated reading vlog as well with all of the comics I'm going to be reading throughout the time What If is airing, so keep an eye out for that. It won't be coming for another month or two, it depends on when What If finishes, but essentially either way, very, very excited to read all of these. I'm loving seeing the exploration of what if one thing changed and how that affects everything else, and I cannot wait to read these ones because they've got some very interesting storylines in them. I then picked up Hellstrom Equinox. Now this one is focusing on Damien Hellstrom, who is the son of Satan or a demon, it depends on which series you're reading, but essentially I absolutely love this character. I've missed him since I finished watching the TV show, and I didn't own any Hellstrom comics, so when this one went on sale I decided to pick it up. It's also focusing on like demons and things like this, which sounds perfect for either Demonathon or Gothtober, but obviously it's going to depend on the Gothtober prompts, but I live in hope that I can squeeze that in somewhere. But either way, I cannot wait to read this one. I really love Hellstrom, and I'm just excited to see more of him, essentially. I then picked up Exiles Volume 1, Test of Time, and there was one reason for this and one reason alone, and that is Captain Carter. This is the only comic series where Captain Carter turns up, and it's about a whole load of basically people who jump through multiverses and sort of explore them and sort of fight battles and all the rest of it. And in this one, they find Captain Carter and Becky Barnes. And after that What If episode, I just needed it desperately. I have not read this yet because I just had no time, but I'm so excited to because I love Captain Carter. Just the concept of her just makes me want to cry with joy, essentially, and I'm just so excited to read this one. It sounds so good. I cannot wait. I then also picked up Fantastic Four by Mark Waid, a complete collection book 1, and I'm pretty sure this one comes before the Jonathan Hickman series, so I decided to pick this one up again while it was on sale, so then I could read this one and then go on to Jonathan Hickman stuff. And then speaking of the X-Men, I also picked up Dawn of X. These are the next ones in the series. These are actually the last ones in the series before it goes into X of Swords and Reign of X and all the rest of it. I'm very, very excited to read these ones because I've been loving Dawn of X so far. Don't know when I'm going to get get to them because I've got a couple more I need to read before I can get to these ones, and I have a lot of a TBR to get through first. But either way, very, very excited to read them. Cannot wait. So excited. Just so excited, essentially. Cannot wait. And that is the end of this, quite frankly, massive book haul. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me some of the books you've really enjoyed that I've just mentioned. Or if you don't have that much time, leave a book emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which will be talking about all of these comics eventually at some point. Essentially, all of these will become relevant on the Sanctum at least once, essentially. So check that out if you're interested in comics and want to get into comics. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here. And over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!